Do you enjoy going to Moulin Rouge as much as we do? Better yet, do you like going to concerts and sporting events?
SeatGeek helps people easily purchase tickets to these kind of events and unites people like you and us through live entertainment.
And things just got easier for you. As proud partners of SeatGeek, you can use our exclusive promo code CANCAN10 and you'll get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over.
Hey Lily, you've been eyeing up that can seat for a while now.
You're so right, Jules. I think I'm gonna go purchase it right now and use our code for a discount. Do you want to join?
Hell yeah.
Again, that's CANCAN10 to get $10 off of any purchase that is $250 or over. Only valid for your first purchase. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Can Talks. What are you doing, Jules?
Sorry, I was trying
Jules
to get
is
rid of the thing.
making.
Sorry about
Welcome
that.
back to Can Talks. It's your girl Lily and her co-host Jules. And this is episode 33, I believe. Yes. No, I don't know. I'm losing count and it's fine. Anyways, it's episode 33. I'm just gonna say that. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. But we have a fun episode today. Very creative episode. But first, Jules with announcements.
Ooh. Liv is coming back full time. Now, I think she's coming back as a full-time swing, but she didn't specify. But I'm guessing it's full-time swing because no ensemble members are leaving.
Hmm.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No ensemble members are leaving, so I think it's full-time swing. And Lauren leaves tomorrow. By the time you hear this episode, she would have already left, but this
Hmm.
episode has been recorded on the 14th, so she leaves tomorrow. Wah, wah,
But she's gonna
wah.
be in Death Becomes Her, which is
I
also
just
very
watched that
exciting.
movie the other night. I watched it for the first. I thought I've seen clips of it. I realized I
Yeah.
actually had never watched the movie.
Yeah.
So I watched the movie the other night.
Did you like it?
Great movie. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, she's gonna Death Becomes Her.
It's
Um,
gonna be fun to see how they like
how they
do
do it on
everything.
stage.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I know what happens, and I'm like, well, how are they gonna
how are they
do that
gonna
on
do
stage?
this? Yeah, it'll be fun to see how they do it. So that's coming. Personal announcements. I'm back at the Rouge in 2 weeks.
So
Yay! For the
exciting.
matinee, I'm going to the matinee because that night I'm going to see Sunset Boulevard first preview. Oh my God, I'm
Oh my
so
gosh.
excited. I bought these tickets so long ago, like all the way back in like
Yeah.
April or
Yeah.
something or
Yeah.
May. So I've been counting down. I can't believe it's in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And I'm finally going to the tour in November.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so
Finally.
excited for this moment. It's gonna be iconic.
It's been a journey because I was supposed to go in February
Hmm.
and COVID.
Yeah.
Stupid COVID. And then when they were like, it's coming back to Florida, I was like, well, it's like it's like they knew. They knew.
Yeah.
They're like, she needs to see it.
And you
So
get
I'm
to see
going
Andrew Duke, which is super
Andrew,
exciting.
Duke. So I'm really excited to get to see Jordan and Tommy and all the tour people. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited about that. So
Yeah.
anyway, without further ado, today's episode is we this is a disclaimer. This is no affiliation with Marvel, so please, Disney, do not sue us. But we're doing like a what if episode, like what if things like certain things did or didn't happen. So, we have a few ideas and we're going to talk about them and see what if, like how that would have changed the course of the story of what we know Moulin Rouge to be today. So,
Again, not affiliated with Marvel.
not affiliated with Marvel or Disney, so please don't sue us.
We love Marvel.
Um, we love Marvel, we love Disney, but okay. Well, Lily, do you want to start?
Yeah. So the first one on my list is what if Satine didn't die? Which
Dun,
I feel like
dun,
is like the
dun.
most basic one, but
Um, okay. I think if Satine didn't die,
she'd be with
I think that
Christian for sure.
she would be with Christian, and I think they would basically like the Duke would have just gone off and been like, whatever, I'm done with this girl. I'm just gonna go back to my life. Like I think he
Yeah.
would have just left it alone.
Yeah.
and just like 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 wallowed in self-pity. And I think
Yeah.
Christian Satine would I mean, I think she would still be performing at the Moulin Rouge while she
Yeah.
can, because like she said, she's like, I'm not getting any younger.
Hmm.
I think he would continue writing and they would
Writing songs
probably
for
like,
her. Yeah.
yeah, I think they would settle down in Paris, have kids.
Yeah. Would they
You know,
live at the same place that Christian is living, or?
Probably not because that'd be a bit crowded. I feel like
The
all that apartment's gonna
little
just get
ones
more
running
because
around, and you
what
guys.
does Santiago and Nini get together? So that's like already like what, one, two, three, four people. And then you add Satine,
And
that's five. And then if you
Toulouse.
have a kid, yeah, it's too many people.
Yeah.
I think it might be a bit crowded. I think maybe they might be able to move out or
Yeah.
something.
Hopefully.
Get their own place.
Yeah.
Maybe they can afford to buy that yellow chateau.
Maybe.
Maybe they
Maybe like Bohemian Rhapsody is a hit, and
maybe it's a hit. Like, like I was watching The Greatest Showman the other day.
yeah,
And like maybe it was like, like a hit like that. Like, yeah, it was
like
good.
it
And they
starts
make good money.
selling,
Yeah. And like
selling good.
it does run for 50 years, like
Hmm.
maybe that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I think happens if Satine didn't die. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think she would be with Christian for sure. The Duke would not even be in the picture at this point, unless it was Duke's revenge, but that's probably a whole other what if story. Um, but yeah, I definitely think like they'd settle down, have some kids, you know. Um, I don't know how long they'd be like performing. I think maybe like if the show doesn't run for 50 years, like Christian still will start like writing, and maybe another show will pop out of it. Who knows? There's endless love songs that he could, sing and write. So
He'd be like the Stephen Sondheim of like
exactly.
the 1899, 1900 period. Like he would
Hmm.
just be like producing plays. Him,
Maybe,
Santiago, and Toulouse would be like a dream team.
yeah, maybe Christian would like take Satine back to Ohio.
Oh yeah, because that's where everybody wants to go to.
Exactly. No, just kidding. No, but maybe like Satine's like, where did you grow up? And like, yes, sure you want to say.
Maybe. Okay. The next one. What if Christian had consumption instead of Satine?
That would be interesting. I feel like I don't know how Satine would react. I mean, because she's got the Duke, and then she realized she was sick, and their days were limited, you know? So like, it's tough. I feel like Satine would still like be very upset because she was in love with Christian for sure. But Satine also has her options. I feel like Satine's a little bit more independent than Christian, really, because Christian's just like, I'm in love with you, and that's all that matters. And then Satine's just kind of like, I just want to make the right decision. Like, I just want to do my thing and perform and make people happy. She has a lot of other things that she has to think about. So, yeah, I think Toulouse would definitely have like kind of the same reaction um as well, knowing that he's good friends with Christian too. And they are like one big happy family. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think if Christian had consumption instead of Satine, I think at the end it'd be him dying instead of Satine.
oh, yeah, I'm done.
Um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I don't know. I think like I don't know. I kind of agree with what you said. Kind of you took the words out of my mouth. So yeah, I think it would be kind of the same.
Do
But
you think the
Satine, like,
show would like keep going without
yeah,
Christian?
I think so because maybe they kind of like maybe want to live on his legacy a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
when someone dies, they're like, we want to live on their legacy, so we'll do like this and this and this. Like maybe
Hmm.
that's what they do.
Yeah.
Um, I also think that maybe, like you said, Satine has options. Like, does she, yeah, she's upset, but then she's like, well, maybe I give the Duke a chance. It's like,
My
I don't
God.
know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Who
hey,
knows?
if they need funding and, you know, maybe
Maybe she
Satine,
falls in, maybe she falls in love with the Duke afterwards.
maybe,
Maybe she's,
yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like, well, Christian's not there. So, like, the Duke.
She's like,
I
Christian
was
would want me to
once, it
fall in
was
love.
once between those two, so,
Yeah. So, maybe.
that's an interesting one. And maybe that one made me think a lot more than I thought. Okay, so the next one is, what if Nini was a sparkling diamond?
Well, I think if Nene was a sparkling diamond, you wouldn't have all this backstage shenanigans and drama. Firstly,
True.
you wouldn't have, I think she would have put an end to it because I feel like she wouldn't. Nene's very like, she knows what she wants.
Hmm.
She's very, I'm not saying Satine's not a badass, she is, but like, Nene's very like, this is what I want. We're doing
They're
it this way
badasses in their own ways.
in their own ways. Yeah. So I think I think she probably still would have, kind of gotten with Santiago. Would the Duke have wanted to get with Nini? Maybe. I don't know. Depends what the Duke likes. I think she would have rocked it as a sparkling diamond though. I think she would
Yeah.
have done really, really great.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like she would have definitely like I don't think there would have been as much drama and stuff like that
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely agree because I'm like, I don't know if like Nini would be even interested in the Duke because of like what she's heard. And then, how like that played out in the actual show where she warns Satine that the Duke is dangerous. So
Allegedly dangerous.
allegedly dangerous. So based on what she allegedly heard, would she take a chance and be with the Duke if the Duke was interested in her? Obviously, the Duke, it depends on his type, but who knows? It's like yeah, it just depends. I think she would. I could see her on that swing. Girl would probably be doing like acrobatic tricks on that swing too.
Oh
So,
yeah. Okay, so what if Santiago and Nini were the main protagonists?
oh, I feel like it'd be very funny. I just I don't know how like because obviously the big storyline in the actual show, the original show, is the love triangle. Like that's the main plot point and like the driving of the plot. So in that sense, I feel like it would turn more into like more of like a rom-com kind of a thing of like maybe like an enemies to lovers or like, the chase or something like that. But it would definitely be like very fun, very funny. I can definitely picture Ricky Gervais being like a rom-com as Santiago.
Yeah, you're probably right. I feel like it would have been quite, again, I think there are also two people who don't like, pardon my language, like don't really take any shit. Like they would have put an
Yeah,
end to stuff and like they would have just wouldn't have cared what anyone else thought and just were like, we just want to be together. Like
right.
screw everybody else, screw the club and all this. Like I love the people, but love is love. I feel like they would have been like that.
Hmm. Maybe it's like a slow burn too.
Mhm.
Like,
Like I said,
like,
enemies to
wait,
lovers.
you got it. Yeah, like that would be very funny
That'd be
because you
great.
kind of do get like bits and pieces of that. Like when
Mm.
Santiago in Shut Up and Raise, when he goes like when he does his like whole thing and he's drunk and everything, and she's like, walk away. So you do get like bits and
It's like
pieces of
keep
that.
walking. Yeah.
It's so funny. So yeah, I think that would be a very interesting thing if like they ended up like enemies to lovers and it's a slow burn kind of a thing. And you're
Yeah.
just kind of waiting for them to
I
like, you
do love a
gotta
good
get
enemies to
together.
I do love a good enemies to lovers.
Me too.
Okay, what if Zidler coughed up the money to save the club?
Well, you don't need the Duke. That's for sure. Um, but I don't know. It depends on where the negotiation. The
Negotiation.
it depends on where they were in the negotiations. Did they already kind of sign off, for the Duke to be the owner of the Moulin Rouge to own everybody? Or is this before that kind of happened and it was just kind of in the talking phase of like maybe, possibly? Um, I mean, who doesn't want more money anyway? More more funds to buy outfits and costumes and set designs and things like that. So
Agreed. I think like it. if Zidler had a brain, I'm not saying he's stupid, but I feel like if he
Right.
used it
Financially, if he had
financially
a
used his
brain.
brain in a financial aspect, he would have thought about coughing up the money before he signed the contract with the dude. Because he must have known when he signed that, basically signed in the movie they signed a contract.
Yeah.
So in the in the Broadway show it's implied. When he signs that contract, he knows what he's getting himself in for. He
Right.
knows that the Duke is gonna own it all now, and
Hmm.
he's gonna
And
have
the Duke
no.
lays it out for
Yeah,
him,
the
you
Duke
know.
tells him straight up, like, this is what's gonna happen. I own the club now. I own Satine.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like before it got to that, he would have been like, you know, let me try and see what I can do. Let me see if I have the money because I don't want to be controlled by someone. Like, he wanted to be independent and he didn't want to be under like a, kind of like a corporation. He didn't want to
Yeah.
have that like
Yeah.
corporation hanging down on him. So maybe I feel like if he used the financial part of his brain,
Yeah.
he would have done that first before he would have thought about like maybe I should see if I can do it before he signed the contract.
Right, for sure. Like it's kind of important. I'm like, but I don't know, maybe they were really in desperate need of that money, and quick, Um, but at the same time, you're kind of looking around at the sets and you're like, do you really need this big
Do we
thing? Do
need
you
this many
really
chandeliers? Do we really need
exactly
this many chandeliers? Come on,
like the
Zidler.
excess stuff?
Right?
Like it's all spectacular to watch, but do we really need all of that?
Yeah. Do we need that? Definitely
Yeah.
not.
The sparks coming out of the stage.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Like it's already spectacular to begin with. It obviously just adds its cherry on top, but sometimes you don't need the cherry on top. So
Okay. What if the Duke had the chance to see about it? We'll see
ooh,
about
Duke's
that.
Revenge. Dukey's Revenge, Moulin Rouge Part 2. Um, I don't know what he would have done is the problem. Because, like, and this is if the allegations are true, because obviously he allegedly did all the stuff that Nini said. I don't know if he would go that far. I would have liked to see kind of like how the movie does it a little bit. Like, that would be kind of fun to kind of look into. Um, the chase down and stuff, but during the show, um, chaos. But yeah, I feel like he would go. He might go after Satine rather than Christian, if that makes sense. Cause like Satine's the one who eventually stood up to him in the end and was just like, no one owns me. But then again, like you never know because it's like the Duke might like he threatens Christian. So how would he go about it? Would he like go right after Satine or would he go for like more Satine's emotions and go after Christian because he knows that they're together and in love?
I think he would go after Christian because, like, in a way, yes, Satine defined him, but Christian's the one who's in the way.
That's true.
If you look at it, like
Yeah.
he's the thing that's stopping Satine going to the Duke. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he would have been like, okay, in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
he tries to shoot Christian,
Right. Yeah.
and fails miserably. But
Fails
he,
so
so
bad.
I think he would have, I think it would have been a bit like the movie. I think he would have gone after Christian because in the way he is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, let me get rid of him and then I can have Satine all for myself. So I don't think he would have gone after. I mean, I think he would have probably had a word with like Satine like afterwards and been like, you
That needed
know,
to be done.
that needs to
Just
be
by
done
the way.
because you're mine. Like, he would have been very
Yeah.
possessive, but I think he would have gone about it with the way of like, yeah, I think he would have gone after Christian because
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
like, like, he's making her not choose me kind of thing. So he was like, and let me go after the main source, which is Christian. I
Right.
think that's what she would have
Yeah.
done.
No, that makes sense too. And also, like as I said before, like it's playing with her emotions. So you're also hurting Satine by hurting Christian as well,
Hmm.
because those two are in love. So
And he threatens that already. He says to
yeah,
her like,
I'll have him snatched off the
reject
street.
him and like, or I'll, allegedly. get him
Allegedly.
killed, you know.
As James
Oh,
said.
you know, it's all just hearsay, Your Honor.
Right.
Um, but yeah, maybe like he has mentioned it before, so maybe it's more of like a get him out the way so I can get to her.
Mhm.
Um, and I think he does blame Christian because he even says like, oh, he needs to learn how to handle his love affairs and stuff like that. So I think he,
Boy needs to
yeah,
learn how to handle his liquor and his love
and his love
affairs.
affairs, yeah. So
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
I think he would go after Christian, yeah.
Yeah. Dookie's Revenge, Moulin Rouge Part 2.
He's Moulin Rouge too.
Okay, so we already kind of talked a little bit about this, I feel like in the Pierre deep dive, but our next one is what if Pierre did not snitch?
You know what? I think if Pierre didn't snitch, I think somebody would have in the
Somebody
end.
probably, yeah.
I think
The Duke
someone would have.
would have found out
I
somehow.
think somehow, some way, the Duke would have figured it out. Whether that be someone snitching, them slipping up again, it would have
Or
been
just the
some.
Duke's brain power of like putting two and two
Yeah,
together.
I think it would have been something. Like it wouldn't have been like a. Doesn't mean it's gonna be someone snitching. I think he would have figured it out. It's
Yeah,
either Christian would have said something wrong, that he would have caught them, or like, someone might have accidentally slipped it out, just like
yeah. Can't
word
keep
vomit.
sneaking around forever, you know?
Yeah, I think
Like the cat's
if Pierre
gonna
didn't
get out of the bag.
snitch, I think either someone would have said something or someone would have messed up somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I also think like the Duke might have the brain power to just kind of figure it out on his own because even so, like even before Pierre and before like Christian yelling out like he doesn't love you, you know, like even in Only Girl, like the scene for Only Girl, like he's like, I can tell your heart is somewhere else. Like it seems like you're always somewhere else. So
Yeah, he's
he's
like,
kind
where are
of
you,
in his
Satine?
brain, like she's not with me, even though she's with me. So he's kind of even putting the pieces together. Christian blurting it out just kind of somewhat confirms it, and then Pierre goes in and confirms it like
Oh yeah.
altogether. But
I think like he had an inkling. He's like, wait a second, that was weird. And then Pierre was like, yeah, by the way, this is what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah, like just as
Interesting.
I suspected.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think I agree. I think someone would have said something, or he would have figured it out. He's
Yeah,
not an idiot, you know.
no,
In the movie, he's a bit of an idiot, but
yeah,
not not
just a
not
little
in
bit.
not in the show. You can see he's actually not. He's not stupid.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so our next one is this is kind of fun. I like this.
What if Nini was appointed the Duke's gossip monger?
Instead of Pierre. Ugh.
Ooh. I feel like she would have turned it down if he had said something. She would have been like, nah, I
Yeah.
ain't doing that to my girl. Who do you think
Yeah.
I am? I feel like she
Yeah.
would
Like
have
she's
been like,
sisters with her. I mean, not like blood sisters, but like,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
all
like,
sister. Like even she says, like, we're all sisters here. Like,
yeah,
this is why I'm telling you this. I
yeah.
wanted your spot for the longest time, but like we've got to stick together no matter what.
However, in an alternate universe, and she did become his gossip monger. Huh. That would have been,
That would have been very it would have been I feel like that would have
she
been
would
very dramatic.
very dramatic because she's with Satine a lot. Like Pierre wasn't really like alone with Satine, really.
Hmm.
He was just in rehearsals, but like
Yeah.
Nini is a lady M. She was alone with Satine, all that. I think she would be able to definitely give more like details to the dude.
Information. Yeah.
Yeah, and really drop Satine in it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. If she ever like got to that point where she really wanted to, you know. I
And
don't know if
you
she
don't know
will.
what the Duke could have offered her. The Duke could have been like, if you do this for me, I'll pay you and I'll make you the sparkling diamond, or
Oh yeah, that's
I'll
true
do
because it's
this for
like
you.
because
You
the
know.
Duke's like he's owning the club, so I'm like,
He's got
Ziegler's the ringmaster in ways, but I'm like,
the
usually
Duke now
the
has like
Duke has
creative control
he's
now.
got the control exactly. So
Yeah.
that's a
So it could
good
have been like
point.
a thing like that. Like, hey, if you do this, I'll do this for you.
Yeah. All right. This is also gonna be interesting. What if Satine ended up with the Duke instead of Christian?
Oh, you know
Oh
what?
boy.
In an alternate universe,
I feel
if
like
the
she
Duke
still would have died because she still has consumption.
okay, well, all right. if we take out the fact that she had consumption, that she
True.
say in this instance she didn't have consumption,
Hmm.
I think uh, they would, he would probably ask her to marry her so you can officially like she's not going anywhere now. She's my wife,
Yeah.
because back in those days, like cheating on your husband, like it wasn't the best of things to do.
Right.
So
Right.
I think maybe he would have married her, given her this life, like clothes and
A
a house,
chateau.
a
Like,
chateau and a carriage and all that kind of stuff. Definitely like kind of spoilt her. Would it have been a happy marriage? I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
who knows? Like, I guess in this alternate universe,
Nobody knows what happened behind closed doors
yeah.
after sympathy. So,
So, well, no one knows, but it's like heavily implied what happened.
yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. They don't say it, but like we know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like maybe he's like, okay, I want you to be like if you be my wife, like at least then like you won't really stray and go off with another man. Probably
Mhm.
they live in Paris still, and I don't know, like
But they like
she
live
becomes a duchess.
together.
She'll
Oh
be a
yeah, she
duchess.
does become a duchess. It's a pretty fun
But then
title.
again, also on the other hand, we've talked about this in the Dookie's deep dive. He said to be my mistress, and maybe
Maybe he's
he
already
wants,
married.
or because of the lifestyle she's lived, he's like, do I want to marry someone who's basically he's
A
been a
prostitute.
prostitute, like
Yeah.
because that was frowned upon too, like marrying a prostitute. Oh my
Right. And
God,
as
that's
the
a
Duke of Monroe, like he's a duke with money and he has this
yeah.
status and like
So it could have been that
reputation.
too.
So it's like, yeah. Like
Could have been a bit.
maybe like they're with each other, but not exactly with each other. Like you can have the home, you can have the wardrobe. I'll give you
You
everything you need.
you
But
know, I'll love you behind closed doors, but that's it, kind of thing.
didn't even the Duke like was just like, and you're, like in the scene before Only Girl, it's like he's like, and you're, every so often you're company.
Yeah, it could
So
be something like that. It could be
like
like an
occasional
arrangement,
company, yeah.
occasional pleasure of your company. So it could, I don't know, there's so many avenues for that question.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. Okay.
I put this one in for Jules, just to by
This
the
is
way.
this is my fan theory, and no one seems to be behind it. And I think all y'all need
Look,
to like
I'm behind it. I
what
think it's
if Christian was Jack the Ripper?
I mean, the timeline of it all, it
Do you
does
know
check
the
out.
timeline? It's
It
great.
checks out. That's
Yes.
what gets me. It's like, because Jules, I don't know how this did you text like our group chat or something? And
Yes.
I'm looking at this like text message. I'm like, wait a second. This kind of does check out.
I don't even know how it came about. I think I was just like messing around and
I
I was
think maybe
like,
we were like, oh, like Christian the murderer, like that, because that was once Jules is
sorry about
yelling
that.
at them. Like Jules
I
is
wasn't yelling. I
no,
was
no.
I was like, being very patiently telling
Couldn't
them
even
off,
hear
like,
them.
please be quiet.
So
Okay, so basically, what if
doggo.
what if I don't even know where okay, so I don't know what happened, but one night I just texted the group chat and I was like, hey guys, what if Christian was Jack the
Like the
Ripper?
river.
Because I think it was based off of the the Christian the murderer
Yeah, yeah,
thing they had. And I was like, well, what happens if he was Jack the Ripper? Because
yeah,
I looked at the timeline, I was like, that's a really good timeline. So I was like,
yeah,
maybe he could have been Jack the Ripper.
yeah. Like
Who
maybe
knows?
that's the suffocating
You
life
know,
that he had to escape. We don't
Jack
know
the
what the suffocating life was,
Jack
first
the
of all.
Ripper was never caught.
Yeah. And the thing
You
is, we
know,
never know what the suffocating life is. Like, we just know that it's a suffocating life that he's escaping. We don't know what that is. We don't have any context. We don't know what happened. So,
exactly, exactly. We do not know. So, and like I said, Jack the Ripper was never caught. So,
mm,
you know,
but would Jack the Ripper like sing love songs? Who knows? Maybe that's his whole ploy.
but that maybe that's his disguise.
Exactly. Like that's his
I
alibi.
would love to know his motive, like why he did it. Maybe he had like something. Okay, maybe he had something like happen to him, and he's like, I hate this, and then just go after everybody.
Right.
Um, so that could have been a thing. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to control these damn dogs. Okay, okay, stop it. Stop it.
Doggos.
Okay. Next one. I think is it me or is it you?
Either one, I can say it. Okay, so the next one is what if Toulouse and Satine had never met before?
Um, I think I don't think it would have changed anything. I think
Yeah.
it just would have like I don't think it would have changed like the whole narrative or anything. I think it would have just been like a I feel like even though if they hadn't have met before, I think when they did eventually meet, I think Toulouse would have like been like, oh, like I love her, but also like I want to protect her. Because he did in a way, he really wanted to, he
Yeah.
really was protective of her. You saw that. So maybe, yeah, I don't think it really like I don't think it would have changed the course
Hmm.
of anything that happened in the Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
I think it just would have like I think they just would have met like a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I think.
I definitely think that. And I think like because if they like met later in life, it's like if he met Christian first and then like those three kind of Christian, Toulouse, and Santiago like buddied up with each other, they're all trying to hype up Christian either way. So like even if Toulouse is like, oh my God, she's beautiful, like I think I'm in love with her, like he's also gonna be a good bro to Christian, who, really kind of drives that kind of romance plot with Satine. I think it would be interesting if there was an addition to the love triangle and make it like a love rectangle or square. But
At this point, it'd be a love pentagon.
right.
At this point,
And Satine's in the middle of it. Um,
it would have been a mess.
it
It
would
would
have
have
been
been
a
like a
mess.
love
It would have been
rhombus.
chaos, but yeah, I think Toulouse is like he's the kind of guy who's just like, okay, like I'm in love with her, but at the same time, like as you said, like I want to protect her. So he's kind of like that that older, wiser brother, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I agree. What if a Duke said no after the pitch song?
I
Instead of saying I'll
don't
do
know
it,
what
he's
they
like,
would have done.
nah.
He's like, nah. Um, I feel like they might have just still gone on with the show and possibly because like it's such a wild show anyway.
Mm.
And maybe Ziegler, if he has financial brains, um, maybe Ziegler's like, wait a second, we've been doing kind of like the can, sparkling diamond, ending the show kind of thing for many, many, many years. Maybe a show with a plot, new music, kind of new, like a newer vibe. Like maybe that would bring in more people.
I agree. I think, you know what? Personally, this is my personal opinion. The pitch song was not meant to happen. It only
Oh
happened
no,
because
because the
Harold
Duke,
and
yeah,
walked in. Like it wasn't a
right.
plan. So I think if the Duke had said no, it wouldn't have like in a way, the him saying yes was like guaranteed the funding, I think, for it. So I feel like if
Right.
the Duke had said no, I think the show would have still gone on. Would it have been as extravagant? Maybe the costumes wouldn't have been as extravagant. Same with like the sets.
Mhm.
But in a way, furthermore, they um they weren't gonna do that show. They just made that up on the spot to
Right.
entertain the Duke.
And that's what makes it so funny is because they made it up on the spot. The Duke
Yeah,
doesn't know this, and it's also this like insane thing that happened,
yeah,
and he's like saying yes to it. And you're like, huh?
yeah. So like it wasn't kind of like meant to happen. It was more like, oh crap, he just caught Christian Satine in here. They were just making out.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, that's not what happening. This is what was happening. So really, in a way, like the pitch song wasn't meant to happen. But if he had said no, I don't think it would have. Like, I think they still would have done the show, just maybe not as much. There wouldn't have been as much money involved, and I
Hmm.
think maybe things would have been a bit toned down.
Yeah, and you can tell they're scared of like if he's gonna say yes to it because like at the very
So,
end, all
like at
their
the end, they're
faces are
like,
like, huh? Like,
they're like looking at him and he's like, I'll do it. And they're like, yeah. But like, I think that just they wanted his seal of approval. I don't think they really cared about like,
I don't, yeah, they didn't care about his opinion on what the show was. I think until he started changing things, but I think they just more cared
well,
about
they
the money
wanted
and
to
the
get the
funding.
Duke, but I don't think they had a plan on how they were going to get him. And it just ended up
It
working
just
out. Like the
happened.
big song,
Yeah.
it
Like
just ended up being like, oh, well, we got it just ended up like working out. So,
throwing
but yeah.
Christian around, Satine's like, oh, hold on,
Right.
it's so
Okay. So next one. Oh my God. I love this one. This is my favorite character in the show.
I don't know why I came up with this one, but it's so good. What if Hamish was the ghost of the Moulin Rouge,
I'm so behind it.
haunting the Moulin Rouge?
I love Hamish.
Yes.
He's my favorite character in the
For those
show.
of you who don't know what Hamish is, or who Hamish is, it's is it a rat
I think it's a
or
mouse.
a
It's a
mouse?
mouse
Or
or a
it's some kind of
rat.
rodent,
Yeah,
and
it's a rodent.
it's a rodent.
There's
And
debate. Some people say it's a rat, some people say it's a mouse. I
I don't know.
personally think it's a mouse, but
It's
it's
some
something.
rodent animal, and it's like this thing, and the Duke turns. It's at the end of pitch song. The Duke turns around. It's like, um, Santiago's holding it, and depending on who Santiago is, he does like a little funny thing with
Ta-da! Yeah, it really does depend. Like, I remember Gabe used to make it
so you
like
can't get
Hamish do a can. I know Ricky would put the arms up and go,
like,
ta-da! I think Caleb used to do that ta-da too. So it just whoever the Santiago is, they kind of they mess around with it. Love Hamish. I would sort of see him being the ghost.
I
Like,
could see him being the
um,
ghost.
they say in the show, the rats of the Latin Quarter and all that. Maybe they're
Okay, that is
talking
true.
about Hamish.
Yeah.
Maybe they're talking about the ghost of, can you imagine that? The ghost of the Moulin Rouge is a mouse or a rat,
Or
depending on who
rodent,
you are.
just a rodent.
We should put like a poll up. Do you think Hamish is a rat or a mouse? Um, yeah.
Oh my
So
God, I love Hamish. Stan.
same.
Yeah, he carries all the secrets of the Rouge because he's just there.
He does.
He is there.
He's like a fly on the wall, but a mouse
He
instead of a
sees
fly.
everything.
He sees everything. He knows. He's like, yeah, I know everything.
If
I'll
Hamish
get
could
you all
talk.
arrested. If Hamish could talk, oh my goodness. I love that. Okay, next one. What if Christian Ziedler, Santiago, and Toulouse were the Lady M's? Well, first of
Oh,
all, they wouldn't
gender
be called the
bent.
Lady M's. They'd be called
The
like the gentle M's.
the gentle
The
ends.
men, the lad M's or the men M's.
The
M&M's.
Ladams. The M and
Not
M's.
affiliated with the candy. Sorry, not affiliated with the
Or
chocolate
or the rapper.
or the wrapper. Um, I don't know. That would have been so weird to
That would have been
watch.
so funny.
I
I
mean, they
still
kind
think
of
they
have
need to
their
do a
moment in the end.
miscast of
Oh,
a Lady
I want
Marmalade.
them. My thing is, I would love them to do a gender like
A gender
bent
bent
show.
Moulin Rouge. Yeah.
Look, Tyler already wants to play Satine. Let
Yes.
him play Satine. EJ Hamilton is she wants
As
to
a
be the
Duke.
Duchess.
Yeah.
I feel like we do that. We give the people what they want. When I
Didn't
say
Jordan
people, I
want to be
mean you and
Pierre?
me. Yeah, give Jordan
So,
Pierre. Like,
yeah.
give the people what they want.
Hmm.
Like, but I think it's
I could
so
get
funny
behind
though.
it.
Like, I get behind it. They kind of have their Lady M moment at, well, not all of them. Only like Santiago and Toulouse and the Duke have their like, at the end of the encore and they have their
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be quite funny. Imagine them opening the show singing
And
Lady
it's just
Marmalade.
like, man.
It's just all four of them. However, I don't know if they would want to wear the corsets.
Yeah, it's true.
Um,
Maybe it would be like Rocky Horror.
hey, I would be down for that too.
That would
Rocky
be really
Horror
funny.
X Moulin Rouge. That
Yep.
would slap.
Yes. Yes. Make it happen. Crossover.
Okay.
Crossover episode. Okay. So our next one is what if Christian hadn't gotten drunk on absinthe? I still think he would have gone to the Dick's.
Yeah, I think the absinthe though gave him confidence. Like, I mean,
Oh,
that's
because alcohol always gives you confidence, really.
alcohol gives everybody confidence. I don't care who you are. Alcohol gives everybody like extra confidence.
Exactly.
I think. yeah, I think he would have still gone, but I think the absent definitely like helped
That
him be
like
like, yeah, I'm gonna go face
solidified.
the
Yeah.
Duke. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go beat the Duke up. He doesn't beat the Duke up, but
No,
like he gets that kind of
Christian
in him,
murderer
like,
might,
yeah,
but
I'm gonna go to the Duke's house. Like, I'm going to his apartment. I'm gonna get
right,
Satine.
right.
Like, I feel like if Christian was
Because even
sober,
he
he
goes like,
wouldn't have
I'm
done that.
he's like, I'm here for Satine. What? I'm here for Satine.
Yeah,
So
like
like he's
he
he's
stood up to the
real
Duke,
into it. Yeah.
and he probably knew that, like, he probably knew that the Duke was like, he probably heard the rumors that the Duke was dangerous.
Hmm.
So him going up there and doing that, he probably would have been like, yeah, like I'm gonna go because I have this confidence because it's absent made me drunk. Yeah, I think
Exactly.
that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
I
think.
think he still would have gone, but like it's different in a way because like I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, but like absinthe obviously and alcohol makes you more confident. But also, oh, here's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that even though he's not drunk on absinthe, he's drunk on love. He loves Satine. And even before he started drinking absinthe, the whole ploy was to get Christian to forget about Satine. If he's not drinking the absinthe, he's not gonna have a chance to forget about it. And he's gonna be like she's gonna be in his thoughts 24/7, living rent
You say
free in his mind, and he's gonna be drunk on love. And he's gonna still go and confront the Duke
that's
because
so
that's all
funny.
he can do.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go get my
Yeah.
get my girl.
You know what I made a for Valentine's Day this year. I made these Valentine's Day memes, card memes, and one of them I put absent makes the heart grow fond.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
clearly. All right, last one. What if Christian was secretly rich?
Hmm. Be interesting. I don't think
Um,
he would say anything, but I don't know. Especially after the Duke flashes his money and stuff.
I think like you've seen those videos of like if I won the lottery, like I'm telling one, but there would be signs.
Yeah.
I
Like
think he would do some
besides.
stupid shit like that.
To be fair, he does have that leather coat. So
Yeah. Maybe like um maybe I don't know, maybe like
you know what? Maybe, just maybe, he would secretly fund the club.
yeah, he'd be like, screw the Duke, here's the money. And they'd be like, how did we get this money? Oh, it's an anonymous donor.
Exactly.
Actually Christian, but like he didn't want to
He
say.
didn't want to say because he's like
He's very
modest.
yeah, humble king. He's a
Yeah,
humble
he's
king, you
very
know.
humble.
So we're like, oh, okay. Or
I just don't
maybe
think it's in
like,
Christian's character to just like flash money around.
yeah, I feel like it's not in Christian's character to do that. I think he's quite humble, isn't he? Um,
Yeah, especially
I think
because like
he,
he wants to escape his life in America and go to France and be with the people. So I don't
yeah,
think he would want to.
maybe he buys a house so he doesn't have to stay in the apartment.
That is true.
Maybe
Yeah,
he would have done that.
but
Um,
maybe he likes his bros. Who knows? Um, I still
maybe,
think he might like secretly fund the club.
maybe,
Like the Duke's terrible. So here's the money to pay off the Duke.
right? Screw the Duke. Okay, I have one more to add.
Yeah.
What would you, what would you, no, what would you, what if the Moulin Rouge like burned down?
Like in a fire.
Yeah, obviously. What do you, yes, and fire, Lily.
It's been a long day. Uh,
Do you think they
oh,
would have like
like
been
gone to
like, all right,
prison.
let's again, it's because I watched The Greatest Showman, that's why I'm getting these stupid ideas
Oh
in my head.
yeah, but
And it
also the
burns
windmill fell
down.
off. The windmill fell off at the actual Moulin Rouge, and I'm like,
Oh,
it's not really
yeah.
the Moulin Rouge because Moulin Rouge in French means red windmill, and it's not really a red windmill without the
That was
windmill. So
that was tragic.
the windmill is back, just by the way. But I don't know. I feel like they would have found. I mean, depending on the funds, who knows? But I feel like they would have found some empty space.
Yeah, I think they could have found something. I don't think it's the end of the world. Um, I think they would have probably rebuilt it too. Maybe it would have come back
Maybe it would
better.
have been like a P.T. Barnum kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah,
we don't need a
see?
venue, we just need a freaking tent.
We just need a tent. That's it. Or I don't know. In their case, I feel like they do need a venue. All that
Yeah, that's
stuff
true.
there, the
This,
thousand chandeliers that
oh
fucking
my God.
sorry, excuse my language. All the chandeliers that Zidler has. Like, do we need that?
Do we, again, yeah,
Let's hold an
do we need
estate sale and get rid of all the stuff that Zidler has.
a garage sale?
A garage sale. Just do a garage
And with your
sale
garage
and
sale, you got a lemonade stand too. Like,
exactly. And we don't need that many
we
chandeliers.
don't.
But yeah, I think that I can't think of any more what ifs. I want people. I wonder if anyone else has any what ifs. We have to put a poll out and see what
Yeah,
their what ifs are. But I
yeah.
think it's so interesting that because it's so open. Like there's so many things that are open possibilities with this show.
It's
So what?
also so fun to like say like what if this happened and it changes the drive of the plot
Yeah,
in some of them, you know. Like it's
yeah.
fun
Like
to see
what
like the
if this?
possibilities of,
Yeah.
you know, how this
What if
thing could
Christian
go.
Satine never met? Like what
Oh
if
yeah.
like
What if it
Christian
was
wasn't
Nini
what yeah,
and
what if a
Christian?
Christian wasn't attracted to Satine?
Satine.
I had to say Satine and was attracted to like I don't know, Arabia instead.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
you never
You
know.
never know.
You never
You
know.
never
That's
know.
what's fun about it. We could write so many variations of like it's like a multiverse
Yeah.
of Moulin
Again,
Rouge.
not affiliated with
Not
Marvel.
affiliated with Marvel. Please do not sue us. I like it though. That was a good conversation.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was fun.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well,
Anyway, it's
we
been
got an
real. It's been
exciting
fun.
episode next week.
Oh, very
I will
exciting.
say
I can't even. I can't
well,
even.
we have a special guest. I'm not gonna say who it is.
Oh, we do have a guest.
You'll find out soon enough
Yeah, we do have a
because
guest coming. Um, anyway, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been super fun. And we'll be back next week with yet another episode of Can
Can
Talks.
talks.
Ding,
Da,
ding,
da,
ding,
da,
ding, ding, ding,
da.
ding. All right.
Alrighty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye guys.